أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Hazrat Uthman ibn Affan's reign 644 till 656 was undoubtedly one of the most formative in this intense period. Born in the Hijaz, Arabia, into an Umayyad family in the Quraysh clan, that is the Qabila, Hazrat Uthman was a companion of the Prophet. He was already in his mid-60s when he was elected as a third caliph. Hazrat Uthman ibn Affan died June 17, 656 in Medina, the third caliph to rule after the death of Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him. He centralized the administration of the caliphate and established an official version of the Quran. Hazrat Uthman is critically important in Islamic history because his death marked the beginning of open religious and political conflicts within the Islamic community, that is the fitna. Hazrat Uthman was born into a rich and a powerful Umayyad clan of Mecca, and he became a wealthy merchant. When Muhammad began preaching in Mecca about 615 CE, he soon aroused the hostility of the Umayyads. But about 5 years later, Hazrat Uthman accepted Muhammad and thus became the first convert of the high social and economic standing. Muhammad valued this contact with the Makkah elite, and he allowed Hazrat Uthman to marry one of his daughters. Hazrat Uthman rarely displayed energy of initiative. However, his role in the first year of Islamic history was a passive. Hazrat Umar, the second caliph, died in 644, and Uthman was elected successor by a council named by Hazrat Umar before his death. Apparently, Hazrat Uthman was selected as a compromise when the more powerful candidates cancelled each other out. He also represented the Umayyad clan, which had suffered a partial eclipse during the Prophet's lifetime but was now reasserting its influence. Uthman followed the same general policies as Hazrat Umar but had a less forceful general policies as Hazrat Umar, but had a less forceful personality than his predecessor. He continued the conquest that had steadily increased the size of the Islamic empire, but the victories now came at a greater cost and brought less wealth in return. Hazrat Uthman tried to create a united central authority to replace the loose tribal alliance that had emerged under Muhammad, may peace be upon him. He established a system of land distribution in many of the provincial governorships to the members of his family. Thus, much of the treasure received by the central government went to Hazrat Uthman's family and to other provincial governors rather than to the army. As a result of his policies, Hazrat Uthman was opposed by the army and he was often dominated by his relatives. Unlike Hazrat Umar, who had been strong enough to impose his authority on the governors, whatever their clan or tribe. 650 rebellions had broken out in the provinces of Egypt and Iraq. In 655, a group of Egyptian troublemakers marched upon Medina, the seat of caliphal authority. Hazrat Uthman, however, was a peacemaker, and the rebels headed back to Egypt. Shortly thereafter, however, another group of rebels surrounded Hazrat Uthman in his home, and after several days of aimless fighting, he was killed, or you can say he was murdered, or he has shahadat. Some of his most golden quotes of Hazrat Uthman, I would like to narrate it both in Urdu and in English. Take note of the fact that I am a follower of the religion and not an innovator. Hazrat Uthman Razila Anha के हाथों से लिखा कुरान देखें. अल्लाह अकबर, माशाल्लाह, सुभान अल्लाह. ये कुरान पाक 1400 साल पुराना कुरान पाक है, जो कि खलीफा स्वयं हज़रत उस्मान रज़ी अल्लाह ताला अन्हु ने अपने मुबारक हाथों से लिखा था। अल्लाह तमाम असहाब अकराम पर करोड़ों रहमतें नाजिल फरमाए, आमीन। हज़रत उस्मान गनी ने फरमाया, वो शख्स बहुत गुनहगार है जिसको लोगों की बुराई के लिए वक्त मिले। एक और कौल है, मत रख उम्मीद किसी से मगर अपने रब से, और मत डर किसी से मगर अपने गुनाह से। दौलतमंदों के साथ आलमों की दोस्ती रियाकारी की दलील है। दुनिया जिसके लिए कैद है, कब्र उसके लिए आराम गाह है। लोगों को जिस तरह चाहे आजमा देख, सांप बिच्छुओं से कम ना पाएगा। तलवार का जख्म जिस्म पर होता है और बुरी गुफ्तगू का रूह पर। उस्मान रज़ी अल्लाह अन्हु का फरमान, अगर तू गुनाह पर आमादा है तो कोई ऐसा मकाम तलाश कर जहाँ अल्लाह ना हो। गुनाह किसी न किसी सूरत दिल को बेचैन रखता है। A backbiter harms three persons. Firstly himself, second the person whom he is addressing, and thirdly the person whom he is backbiting. Hazrat Uthman was modest, shy and a humble person. Hazrat Uthman did not remove his shirt. His love for God and his messenger kept him both strong and humble in the face of old age and extreme difficulties. Holy Prophet, may peace be upon him, said, every prophet will have a special companion of him in the heaven, and my companion there will be Uthman. So now I'll take permission. Allah Hafiz, Pakistan, Zindabad.